All right, Broncos country, looks like we are live, but you guys know the drill by now. We've got to let the stream breathe for just a second here and make sure that everything is nice and stable all across the YouTube platform. Welcome in, Broncos country, to this Denver Broncos Syndicate live stream. I'm your host, Gage Madrid. We've got a key update on both Pat Surtain and Alex Singleton heading into the Sunday night game against the Washington Commanders. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. But while we wait for a couple people to start streaming on in here, be sure to leave a like as well as subscribe. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. The link is in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out and helping the channel grow. We've got Coda in the house saying, yo, how was your Thanksgiving? It was very good. How about yours? Snarf Bucket in the house saying, hey, Gage, why was Sean's press conference only like a minute long? I have no clue. I guess the reporters just didn't have very many questions today because he answered like 3 questions. The reporters said they were all good, and that was it. So that was a bit of a surprise for me as well. John in the house saying, I can taste the #1 seed. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the news of the day here. Bringing it in. Broncos tight end Nate Atkins, again, does not practice with his knee injury. He's in line to miss his 4th straight game. But Alex Singleton and Pat Surtain practiced once again today, and they both remain in line to play Sunday at Washington. So it looks like both Pat Surtain and Alex Singleton are going to be back in the lineup. Things have been trending this way for the past week or so. It always felt like this game was going to be the return timeline for Pat Surtain. Singleton, of course, his situation was a little bit more fluid. He had the best possible outcome in terms of all the tests and everything they did after he had his surgery for his cancer. So he's been cleared to return to the lineup as well. Obviously, really cool to see Singleton back after only missing 1 game, and that just goes to show how awesome modern medicine and modern science is. Pat Surtain, he's pushing it a little bit. Guys tend to miss usually about 4 to 6, sometimes a little bit longer in terms of weeks with these pec strains like with Pat Surtain, but he's clearly trying to push it, and he's trying to get back out there as soon as possible. And this was probably the soonest realistic timeline that he could return. The Chiefs game wasn't really in play. He needed a little bit more time to just rest and let this recover. He's done that, and now he is set to return versus Washington. So overall, really good news for the Denver Broncos as they get 2 key defensive players back. And this is going to be a game where, even though they're going up against a backup quarterback in Marcus Mariota, the Washington Commanders, they're not completely terrible. They're not incompetent like their record shows. They can move the ball on you on offense, especially with the return of their star wide receiver, Terry McLaurin. The Broncos are definitely happy to have Pat Surtain back with Terry McLaurin coming back for the Washington Commanders. So that at least makes the matchup a little bit more even for the Broncos. We got Mile High Salute in the house saying pumped for the Kansas City loss. Yeah, that was awesome. We streamed that game here on Broncos Syndicate yesterday. The Kansas City Chiefs fell to the Dallas Cowboys. They're now sitting at 6-6. They are in trouble. Their playoff chances are on life support right now. So the Denver Broncos are very happy about that. Like I've said many times, I'm not scared of the Chiefs. If the Broncos were to face the Chiefs in the playoffs, I'm very confident that Denver would be able to come away with the win. I have not seen any impressive football from the Chiefs in these past 5 or 6 games. They had a couple of impressive wins early in the season, but outside of that, this Chiefs team has been so inconsistent. Their offense has had woes. They're not running the ball well. Patrick Mahomes is having to play hero ball, and they're putting their defense in really bad situations. So Kansas City, they're what their record is right now. They are a 6-6 mediocre football team, and if they somehow, some way sneak into the playoffs, the Denver Broncos are going to destroy them, especially being at home. So again, I'm not scared of the Chiefs, but I also don't want them to make the playoffs because I want their fan base to suffer. I want their fans to remember what it was like when Denver ran the division. There are a lot of these like Gen Z and really young Chiefs fans that have never experienced losing football in Kansas City. I want their fans to get a taste of that this year. So it's for that reason I want Kansas City to be out of the playoffs, but I'm not scared of them. The Denver Broncos are definitely better than the Kansas City Chiefs. We actually did also get an update on Nate Atkins because the Broncos elected not to place him on injured reserve after he suffered his knee injury. I believe it was against the Dallas Cowboys in Week 8, the same game that Pat Surtain got injured. The thought process was, okay, he's probably not going to miss 4 games, so we're not going to put him on IR. Sean Payton said they kind of miscalculated that timeline. IR is not in play for Nate Atkins. He's probably going to play next week. So that's some good news. Sean Payton talked about that again in his 90-second press conference where he got asked 3 questions. One of them was about Pat Surtain. He said Surtain's all good. I imagine officially on the injury report, both Surtain and Singleton are going to be listed as questionable, but they've been practicing all week, so they are going to play in this upcoming game. But Nate Atkins, Sean Payton confirmed, it's probably going to be a little bit closer to next week for him. That's a more realistic return to play timeline. So that's when I imagine we're going to get Nate Atkins back in the fold, according to Sean Payton. Kenny says, let's get healthy as a Bronco. I agree, man. This team, they're starting to finally get healthy. Ben Powers, it seems his injury is going to extend a little bit longer. December was always the original return to play timeline for Ben Powers. So I imagine they'll get him back in the fold as we get a little bit closer to the playoffs. Sean Payton talked about J.K. Dobbins. He said on Wednesday that Dobbins has a chance to return. Not soon. Sean didn't specify, but I do think we've got a chance to get Dobbins back for the playoffs. He's probably not going to be back for the regular season, but I know Broncos country will be more than happy to have J.K. Dobbins back for the playoffs where you're going to need to run the football. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. That time of year is when some of the worst weather hits Denver. That's when Denver usually gets snow. That's when Denver usually gets some of their coldest weather is late January, early February. That's when we're hoping we're going to be playing playoff games at home here in the Mile High City. So if you're going to want to win those type of football games, you have to be able to run the football at a high level. So getting J.K. Dobbins back, even if it's just for the playoffs, that'll be huge. But for this game, we've got reinforcements coming on the defensive side of the ball in Pat Surtain and Alex Singleton. All right, guys, I'm going to get back to the Eagles game. So we're going to go ahead and wind down this stream here, guys. I cannot talk today. Be sure to leave a like as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country, just like you and me. Additionally, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member. Link in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping the channel grow, and helping improve the production quality of this content. Alrighty, guys, and until later, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.